Hi guys. Okay, so this is now take 3 for me because I keep saying the wrong thing. I'm like, I'm 25 weeks and 7 days. Nope, that's not a thing. I'm 24. What am I? What am I? Okay, I'm 25 weeks and 6 days. There we go. So I'm 25 weeks and 6 days, and I wanted to make sure I got that perfectly right because in the last update, I was 24 weeks and I believe 4 days. So I don't ever want to just say like, I'm 24 weeks, I'm 25 weeks, I'm 26 weeks, whatever. But I mean, let's be real. If I'm 25 weeks and 6 days and we've always been measuring a little ahead, then I'm basically 26 weeks. But this will be my 25-week update so I can tell you what this past week was like. So, I think in the last video I basically talked about how heartburn was still a really big issue, and I talked a little bit about the med that I'm still on. Well, I was on. That's a big update. The med that I was on for nausea. Okay, so right off the bat, diclogis or diclogis, however you say it, is something I was on for, wow, almost 16 weeks. So 4 months. And is that right? 4 months? Was I on it that long? Wow. What? Can I do math? 16 divided by 4 is 4, right? Okay. So almost 4 months I was on this pill. And like I said before, I was taking it twice before bed every night. And unfortunately our insurance didn't cover it, so I was always paying out of pocket for it. But guess what? I'm done. I've stopped taking it. I weaned myself off just in the last week. So that's like the really big update, is that I'm not taking anything before I go to bed anymore. I had weaned myself down to just 1 pill a night, and then last, I don't know, Friday or Saturday, I decided to just stop taking it and see what would happen, especially because really people should only be going to the pharmacy right now for absolutely like necessities. And I don't think a pill that helps ease my nausea while I'm pregnant, especially if I was in the first trimester, totally, but in the second trimester, I don't know, and I'm almost in the 3rd trimester, so I was starting to think of it as maybe not such a necessity, and I thought, I think I can go a night or 2 without it and see how I do. So it was either last Friday or Saturday, stopped taking it. I did, however, have horrible heartburn both of those nights, so I took a Pepcid AC, which I take a lot. I take those very often. But I think maybe I just mind tricked myself. You know, I felt like, oh, you're still taking a pill somewhat close to bedtime with water. Maybe you can trick yourself into feeling like you're just taking the diclogis. So, yeah, so pretty quickly, I got used to no more nausea meds. And for those who are familiar, the nausea med I was taking, diclogis, it's basically a combination of the leading drug in Unisom and vitamin B6. So it's nothing complicated. But by taking something like Unisom that helps you fall asleep, it was just like my crutch that I was sort of relying on for these last few months, always knowing that it would help me fall asleep even if my mind was like crazy full of stuff and overactive, and if I couldn't shut off my brain, usually that part of it that acts like Unisom would help me fall asleep. So I was especially worried about that last week, going off of it completely, because I was like, this might be the week that I don't sleep, but I've actually been okay. I don't want to curse it. So we'll see how that goes. Heartburn is still really bad, and it's still between the hours of about like 5 and 7 is my first wave of big heartburn, and then usually like after we've had dinner, it doesn't really matter what we eat for dinner nowadays, although I have found that like garlic, I always avoid onions, but if onions make their way into our food somehow, then I will definitely have heartburn. But like garlic, pepper, onions, red sauce, a lot of that stuff will definitely activate my heartburn. And I guess it's heartburn and acid reflux. Yeah, I know this is all so common for pregnancy. It's just something that's become my nightly routine. It's like, how are you going to combat your heartburn tonight? And I'm trying to get creative. I've heard from people that almond milk really helps. So usually when it's bad, but I'm trying so hard not to take a Pepcid AC right away, I'll have like some cereal with almond milk, and that helps a little bit. The other thing I've noticed, it's kind of funny, is just like little things. So this week was the first week I noticed a linea nigra. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but it's the little line that develops over your belly as your belly starts to stretch. I don't have stretch marks yet that I can see, although I'm sure I have them like towards my backside. I just can't really see back there. I definitely have the linea nigra forming below my belly button, which was kind of weirdly exciting. I don't know, I feel like it's like a rite of passage. Or I guess I was telling my sister about it. It's like a badge of honor, because even stretch marks, I'd be like, whatever, it's fine. But the linea is like, the line is sort of just cool. I don't know. I've never had one before in my life. And I was reading about it, and apparently we all have them. It's just that as your skin starts to stretch this much, that's when it really usually darkens and shows up. So mine's not dark. It's not tan, it's not brown. It's literally just like, it looks like a scar, but it's just going vertical directly below my belly button. I've also noticed this week that my skin is a lot softer, which is weird because it's also very itchy, and I think my hands and feet, I don't know why my feet are so itchy, but my hands are super itchy, probably because I've been washing the hell out of them like a crazy person, but that's what we're supposed to be doing right now during this quarantine, so I'm just following the rules. But I am washing them a lot more than I ever would have before. Like, I'm washing them after we unpack groceries, even after we've wiped down groceries, after we've made dinner, every time I go to the bathroom, when I handle things for Teddy, like, I'm washing my hands so much. So I know that that's why these are itchy. But despite how itchy everything has been, my skin feels super soft and smooth. And I haven't really been taking good care of it. I know probably in this lockdown, like, the easiest thing to do would be extra self-care, but that hasn't really been at the top of my list. So I don't know. Also, it's getting harder in the shower to like bend over and wash your legs. And let's be real, it's been a while since I bent over in the shower and shaved my legs. So I don't think I'm really paying attention to much, but somehow it's staying really soft. So I think that probably has to do with pregnancy. Also, nails growing really fast. But I've always been someone who grows my nails really fast. I have to trim them very often if I don't want them to end up really long. And hair is pretty much the same. Nothing really super noticeable with that. It doesn't feel softer or nicer or thicker. It feels pretty much the same. But if this quarantine ends in June, let's say, I am for sure gonna need a haircut. And Sam and I are not a couple that would ever probably try to cut their own hair. If you follow my TTC Instagram account, then you know that I've definitely tried to cut my hair before and it did not go well. So let's not ever do that again. But yeah, what else? I think those are like the big things. The heartburn, softer skin, itchy skin, and the linea nigra, that was just so cool to notice the other day. I'm feeling bigger. Oh, the really big takeaway, and I don't want this to get too long, the really big takeaway is that I threw my back out, and that sucked. So that, I can't believe I almost ended this video without talking about that. So I think what's happening to me is super common in pregnancy, but I don't know if it's my hips shifting really rapidly or if it's just part of carrying around the extra weight in the front. But my SI joint has definitely been stressed more than ever, and I can feel that. And then the other day I woke up and like literally could not move. Sam had to help me do everything. So I think that's either just the aggravated SI joint or it's a combination of that plus sciatica, because the pain is radiating down my, like fully down my left buttock and my upper thigh. So it luckily doesn't go all the way down my leg. I was reading about sciatica. It's really common for it to just go all the way down your leg and into your foot. I don't have that. But here I am at about 26 weeks, and I was really hoping that despite all my back problems, my whole, like basically the majority of my 20s and 30s, all of my 30s, I've had these back issues, and I was just thinking, how lucky am I that it seems like I'm, you know, about to enter the 3rd trimester and my back hasn't been bad. Well, it's bad. So it's been really good in the last day or so, but there's been, I would say in the last 2 weeks, there's been like a day or 2 or 3 where my mobility is so limited. I'm asking Sam to help me with so much. I was having trouble bending over the other day. It's still kind of a struggle to get up into our bed because, as you can see, our bed is elevated. That's been hard. So I really can't wait for things to get back to normal in that regard. What I'm doing to help it, I'll tell you, is just stretching a little bit and trying to take it really easy. We have a super steep staircase that leads down to our backyard. And that's how we've been taking Teddy out first thing in the morning, and I used to do that, and it's difficult to go down while carrying Teddy on such a steep metal staircase, so Sam's been doing that. Basically just avoiding activities that as soon as I think about them, I'm like, that's gonna make my back worse. If anyone who's watching this has any suggestions for specific stretches, I know everybody wants me to do prenatal yoga. I'm looking into it. I'm definitely not opposed. I've never been a big yogi, but I'm trying to become a little bit more adaptive and open to that. But yeah, because the pain, I would say the pain on Monday and Tuesday of this week, and Wednesday, was pretty bad. I know it's not going to be anything compared to childbirth, but it was pretty bad. So also been doing icy hot sometimes. Oh, and I use BioFreeze, and I just kind of rollerball that on to specific spots, hoping that it will help. And Sam's been really great giving me massages, so that helps too. The only problem is that it sort of just feels like a temporary fix. But okay, I think that's it. My glucose test is coming up on Monday, so I will let you guys know about that. And let me show you my belly. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Yeah, you'll be able to see it. Here's my maternity jeans that I live in, but there's the belly. Tough to like get it to scale. There you go. I think that's pretty accurate. When I'm up close like this, it looks huge. Okay, so that's the update for now. Thanks for watching, and like I said, I'm gonna do a separate video all about how the glucose test goes on Monday because I'm a little nervous for that. And also I have to really prepare to like go into a doctor's office for the first time since this quarantine started. So I'm gonna bring my mask and gloves and the whole 9, and we'll see how it goes. I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks, bye.